Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, 6:20 a.m., July 16th. I'm going to do a quick Bitcoin analysis, maybe just a general crypto analysis if I get a chance. So let's get to it, right? Price of Bitcoin currently at 9,096. This is Finex right here. We've actually dropped right through the July monthly open. More importantly, I was telling my Advantage members, you want to watch out for this marker right here. If you look across the board, this is 91.96. Okay, it was actually a key marker for the last since what, July 9th. Well, actually, it goes back even further. Let's see. It starts off over here July 4th, and you could see as it goes across the board, it's been resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance right there, support. You can see that, right? So anyway, point is, we broke right through it. Not only that, we actually broke through the key July monthly open. I've told y'all before that monthly open markers are very, very critical. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the way the algos, the bots defend these levels, but more often than not, whenever a key monthly open is broken, so for example, if you go back to June, right? So check this out. June, all this was support until June 11th. Okay, we finally broke through it June 11th right there. Use it as resistance again. Had a double bottom right there, pushed back up again, failed, pushed down again, tried to come up all the way up here with a short squeeze, but again failed. Okay, and then finally, once we broke below June open, right, we never really looked back till anywhere, till July open, and then we opened July open way the heck down here. So again, you could see why the July monthly open or June monthly open markers are critically important. And I suggest you guys draw these on your own chart because honestly, sometimes you get really fantastic buying or shorting opportunities. Okay. So point is, we broke through that. Yesterday, I was telling my members that I would probably see, when we were over here, I'd probably see something maybe like this, maybe a push back towards 91.96, and then start breaking down. And I'm still seeing that because I don't think from here we're just going to start breaking down. I would say these two markers right here, especially July monthly open at 91.96, are probably going to be critical levels that the bears want to defend. And once the bears sort of turn these levels into resistance markers, then we could probably start making our way down. On the 4-hour time frame, not a whole lot has changed. I still think, in terms of larger downside movement, we're still looking at least this area down here, which is around 86.27, so 8600s. Let me see. If we throw on this VPVR, okay, the big key support level, as per just this volume profile, is right there around 88.50. So I guess you could make the argument that maybe we might bounce there too. But I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of wick right into this 8600s area, but then try to close back above 88.50. I could definitely see a big slide towards this marker down here. So do keep an eye on that. In the larger time frame, if we're looking at the daily chart, guys, you've been watching me for the last month and a half, almost 2 months now, talking about Bitcoin potentially bleeding down. And I feel like I sound like a broken record, but unfortunately, that's what I was seeing in the market. And it would almost be, untruthful if I didn't tell you guys exactly what I thought was going to happen in the market based on what I'm seeing. Because if you're watching these videos, you're looking at the market through the lens of my eyes, right? My perspective, my take on the market. And so what I was seeing from the get-go is lack of demand over here, just too much FOMO, right? I mean, too many average retail people thinking that we're going to push up higher. But what I saw was big ass, meaning big sellers having their ass filled by retail. Okay, now these are not things that are evident to the average eye. But as you watch markets over and over, as you watch tops form, as you watch demand kind of fall to the wayside and you see supply kind of come in, there's certain clues and parts of sentiment that you pick up over time. And to me, it was just so obvious that this was the creation of a top. Now, you could make the argument that, oh, from here, we're going to keep on going up. But guys, we've seen the last 40 plus days of relentless pressure to the downside, key lower highs being put in right here. And yet people keep making the argument about 11K. And to be honest, that makes me feel good about my short, because I know that there's more and more people who are going to keep buying this, right? Where it is, every little dip down, they're going to keep buying it. What that allows is, when you have that final, say, thrust down, it wipes out everybody. And guess what? Everybody stops, they cascade into each other. And they are the ones who allow that move to happen very violently. Because the stops, as the price moves down, they cascade into each other, and it creates an even heavier sell effect. That's why you see these violent drops that happen like this candle right here, because everyone's stops was lined up, okay? Or you see this candle right here, or you see this candle right here from 2018, okay? It really just takes, just a push of the dominoes, and then you let everyone else kind of fall into each other, okay? And I'll tell you another way of how you could look at this. This is the all exchange inflows over the last couple of days. I was telling my Advantage members, where was it? I think yesterday. I don't know where I put it. Let me check this out. And okay, so I was telling my Advantage members yesterday that on Kraken, we saw a large amount of Bitcoin being moved. That was about 4,200 Bitcoin. And I think on Bitstamp, there was also like 1,200 or 1,400 Bitcoin moved. The point is, Kraken and most exchanges saw a good amount of inflows, okay, of this kind of Bitcoin inflow. The point of these inflows, and the way you look at these charts, the way you look at this data, is that more often than not, whenever these inflows come in, the selling is just about to commence, or the selling is trying to break through a critical level, or just getting ready that, hey, if it breaks through the critical level, we'll also sell. So for example, let's just say you're a big holder of Bitcoin and you have 10,000, 20,000 Bitcoin. And for you to sort of keep your average buy price or average profit return, you don't want Bitcoin to get under, say, 8,500. And you're saying, you know what, I see that Bitcoin is continuously bleeding towards 9,000. Let me just make sure that if Bitcoin gets towards 8,900, I'm just going to sell all this 4,000 Bitcoin, just so I can capture that 8,900 sell, just in case Bitcoin gets to 8,500. I don't have to worry about that break even price for this amount of Bitcoin. That's one way bigger players actually manage their portfolio, okay? Because you do not want to take big hits on the amount of Bitcoin that you have in terms of your average profit return. So what do? Well, if the Bitcoin price is already breaking down, they inadvertently are effectively helping the price break through that level, because they're saying, well, wait a second, I don't want it to fall further, right? Because that's going to then ruin my average return. Well, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to sell more Bitcoin, right? Well, if I sell more Bitcoin at this price, well, then the price cascades down further, okay? But remember that their concern is not about, wait a second, I definitely need price to go up, this and that. Their concern is that they need to get a specific return based on the requirements of their fund, maybe the requirements of what miners require for capital. There's numerous reasons why there could be large swaths of Bitcoin being sold, okay? But the point is, they're not going to gamble on the fact that, wait a second, we think Bitcoin is going to go up, to 15,000 in the next 2 months. They can't do that. They can only look at the price structure. They can only look at what exactly is happening in the market. And then they have to secure their profits. They have to secure their returns, because they have bills to pay. They have people to answer to in terms of, their margins, etc. Okay. So that is why you see these kinds of large Bitcoins, whenever they do come into the exchange, you best be sure that price is about to drop, or these people are the ones who are helping the price drop. They're trying to break through a specific level. They want the price to break through a specific level, okay? It could be anything, any number of reasons. Now, technically, you could also look at this as, price finding a support on this trend line right here. But, guys, I got to be honest with you. The one thing I've learned over the past month and a half is I've seen people redraw trend lines over and over to fit their narrative. It's the same thing that people did way the heck back here. And I'll tell you one thing. I've said this before. I was bullish in 2019 way up until this point, until I started seeing this rounding top, lower high again being created. And from this point on, I said I was bearish, okay? And I'll tell you again, in 2018, okay? You can, again, go watch my videos. I even said right around this area that more than likely Bitcoin was going to drop to $2,500. It didn't get to 2,500, it got to 3,100, but no one believed me up here, okay? And what do? We created a descending triangle right there, and we started dropping out of it, right? I think this was the big descending triangle I've been showing people over and over again that we are creating. And no one wants to believe me, just like no one believed me right here, and no one believed me right here. And guess what we did the last several times around these descending triangles? We pretty much had a very tight consolidation and movement in terms of the candles, as you can see. Let me turn off this Bollinger Band right here. You can see very tight candle spreads, right? Very tight. And then you start seeing the acceleration down, okay? Again, over here, right? What do we see? Very tight candle spreads, boom, boom, boom. Slowly just bleeding, and then all at once. Guess what we're doing right now, right? We've done this for the past several weeks. Very tight candle spreads, pop up, tight candle spreads. Now we're starting to accelerate, okay? Now the bullish argument, okay, though I feel like there's far and few, the only bullish argument you can make right now is that we have not cleaned below or cleanly broken below this 8,100 low. What is the low exactly? Let me see. Yeah, 8,100 flat. This is BitMEX. Once you start breaking below this low, well, you've then established a clean lower low as per this key area, because all this, right, has been higher lows. Okay, even you can make the argument that this is a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. But once you break below this, it's game over. So the bullish argument is that, all right, well, as long as we stay above this area, we can be in this range, okay? Yes, that's true. However, if you don't think that this is a process of slowly breaking down towards this area and then eventually maybe breaking down further, I don't know what else to tell you. I just showed you that Bitcoin has done these descending triangles over and over again. Bitcoin has done these tight style, candle spreads over and over again before it starts accelerating down. Okay, so these are the clues, guys. If you don't look at the history of the asset, the structure of the market, the technicals that the market is showing you, then you're just guessing, right? I mean, you're just honestly hoping. Okay, so if you're not learning from your history, if you're not learning from the signs that the market is showing you, then what are you really doing? I mean, you're effectively just gambling. Then you have technically just a 50-50 odds of the market going up or down. But in reality, the odds are actually heavily skewed against you that the market will probably go down because you're, ignoring the signs that the market is showing you, okay? That it's consistently breaking down, that it's consistently hammering on this middle EQ support around 9,050, okay? And you guys know how basic SR levels work. You keep hammering on a support over and over again, well, that's eventually going to crack. It's like a glass floor that you keep taking a hammer to. You're going to start seeing cracks, and then eventually the floor is going to break and you're just going to fall, right through, right? And right through will probably indicate we'll probably get to this 8,100s level, at least. All right. I don't know if there's anything else I need to mention. I mean, altcoins are doing all right. I don't know. Let's see if Ethereum is showing any signs. Yeah. So even ETH, excuse me, even ETH is, excuse me, let me get some water. Man, whenever I do these videos in the morning, I feel like my voice just gives out. So even ETH is kind of showing us, right? You guys have seen this before, where ETH sometimes becomes a lagging, or I'm sorry, a leading indicator of what Bitcoin could be doing. I think like this area right here, when ETH was breaking out, I think Bitcoin was just consolidating. And when ETH broke out, I think Bitcoin followed. Same thing right here, right? ETH is starting to see that acceleration in price. And so more than likely, we might see Bitcoin starting to accelerate. Okay. Okay, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, there's a Discord link below. Later today, I'm actually going to have a private interview with the CEO of CryptoQuant, the CQ Live resource that I use. There's a referral link below if y'all want to click on it. There's going to be discounts that the CEO is going to give our community, our members, for signing up for this exchange, for this data exchange. So hopefully y'all join. Hopefully you guys use this source. You know, it's free for now. I think they're going to start charging for it soon. But in either case, if you sign up through us, there will be a discount soon. Okay? That's it. Y'all take care. Keep your stops tight. And cheers.